Recording this video after close trade Thursday, 8th of August 2013. Hope you had a good day's trading today. Well, on the face of it, it looks kind of strong. Closed back up towards the highs after a gap open. But I think there's some weakness in there, and I'm going to show you the average trade size chart, see what you think. Anyway, 1.3 million contracts traded, decent range today. And just quickly on the Forex contracts, there's a couple that were kind of hanging behind, Canadian dollar and which is the loonie and the euro, and today they kind of popped. So here's Canadian dollar on the daily chart, bang. It was kind of falling behind, which is kind of odd because the Aussie dollar was strengthening, but there's the Canadian that's followed in. So nice little pattern here, exhaustion selling on the downside, blue professional bars come in at the lows, pro signal exit, bullish divergence comes in here. It's right close to the zero line, so I would say kind of wait for maybe like a flush pattern, and bang, there we go, flush pattern comes in and we've raced away. So that's Canadian dollar that's kind of catching up to the others, and there's the Aussie dollar. We had a strong move over a cent today in the Aussie dollar, so the pullback and end of trends kind of come in with that flush pattern down at the lows, and that started to strengthen. So personally I'm quite happy with that because I had a thing happening on the Aussie dollar, so that's kind of worked out well for me. British pounds continued up a little bit, and here's the euro. So saying the euro was stuck in this little kind of congestion zone. We got a little break yesterday above resistance, and we've continued it today, so we're up at this critical level, which is kind of a previous high, up at just above 34s. So I'd like to see a blue professional bar kind of taking this on, jumping the creek, kind of getting this thing going. But let's see. It's that's at an important level, and I think it's done enough congestion work in order to pop a little bit higher. And Japanese yen, it's holding above resistance, and all of this means strength in all of those currencies, and the dollar index is going down, so we've got dollar index continue to sink through support here. So that's kind of the move in the currencies. And the other one that I was talking about, here's bonds continuing to rally today after that end of trend gone in, and I said look for gold and silver because they hadn't popped yet, and then we got the pop today. So here's silver up at 20, end of trends kind of gone in. You can see we've had another bullish divergence down here. I think we've run out of sellers. We can see when better momentum starts to play around the zero line, instead of being, like through this entire move here, you can see better momentum's negative the whole time. We barely crest above the zero line at any of these points. Now we've been basing for a couple of months, spending our time backwards and forwards, above and below zero line, less and less selling going on. Bang, I think that's ready, silver for a pop. And gold, we're starting there, same kind of things, spending more time around zero line. We've come back with amateur down bar here, we're coming back up. 1350 is kind of the level to take it into a break into an uptrend. But anyway, so all of those things are starting to come together, so it's kind of interesting. Now, long-term chart, this wanted to show you on the average trade size today. So we got down to 1680s, kind of down here during the today, and we kind of cracked back up. But the average trade size on the way back up was very high, and in the middle of the day, that's kind of unusual. You get it first thing in the morning, end of the day, but during the middle of the day is quite unusual. So we've not seen exhaustion selling on the downside. We're kind of testing back up. We've got our high in here at just over 1700, coming back up. I think the professionals are using that as an opportunity to get shorts. They've got resting sell orders for any kind of retrace happening here. And so I'd look for a break back down. If we're starting to mess back up in the 1700 to 1705, not so sure, then maybe we've broken above resistance. We're going to test the highs again. But if we start to come back down through 1690s, 85 and so on, then it's game on. Friday tends to be bullish, tends to be a trend day, so who knows, they might kind of goose it up and just keep it in a narrow range, kind of up here at the highs. Good news for people on the weekend, and they'll pile into the market on Monday, and they'll use that opportunity to take it down possibly. But let's see, just wait, play the ranges here at the moment. And here's what I'm saying about the average trade size. This is not better Pro-Am, it's got the same coloring as Pro-Am, so amateur bars and professional bars, and it's just using a slightly different algorithm from average Pro-Am. But this is all this high average trade size during today. So you can see yesterday's bottom came in, and then they kind of bought that breakaway gap, continued up, they bought the lows kind of down here. But this, during that whole move up, was high average trade size, and for me that smacks of resting sell orders by professionals ready at any kind of strength to take positions. We're starting to roll back over, so that 96, 98 type level is really absolutely critical. So let's see if this starts to roll over tomorrow. then that's an important kind of interpretation of what's going on there. Oscillators still got a little bit of time to run here. We're just at negative 28 on the trend oscillators, so we've not got down to oversold yet. So still we've got some time before this is all done on the downside. Anyway, so that's kind of the bigger picture stuff. Good trading today. So we had some employment numbers pre-open. We got this kind of burst of activity into pullback to end of trend. Whole bunch of blue professional bars came in at the open. You can see there. Then we got our exhaustion pattern. I always say wait for the exhaustion pattern during the full liquidity of the day. We'd had a rally was kind of gaining strength from yesterday. We had exhaustion selling at the end of the day. That kind of held overnight. We kept on going, and there's the full liquidity of the day. They used that to kind of get out. They started positioning themselves straight away, so then we started to crack on the way down. So I was getting short straight away, 94.75. What I did have one long trade at 96 to start with, because I thought this might, well, I was looking for the exhaustion buying basically, and I thought we'd crack a little bit higher, maybe to 1700 before we got that, but we didn't. So to get out of that, small loss, 125, got short at 94.75 and rode this on the way down. Did it in two chunks, so got out here when we saw the Rambo pattern, because I don't like Rambo patterns on 1500 tip bar chart. We kind of came back, and as soon as we started breaking back down, jumped in again and got out at 90 on the way down here, which was nice. The exhaustion patterns were starting to come back in here, so that was why I got out, but it had a little bit further to run on the downside. Now, a couple of things to note. First of all, here's the exhaustion patterns during the full liquidity of the day to end this move on the way up. Then this exhaustion pattern is showing the strength of the move down. That's showing the selling going on here. And then as we get into the lows, we're seeing exhaustion patterns ending this move. Exhaustion pattern on an end of trend, I always say wait for the second cyclical turn after end of trend to full. If that had happened on a left shoulder over here and then it made pullback to end of trend, then that's kind of worth looking for as the end of that move. But because it happened on the end of trend, wait for the second cyclical turn after end of trend. That was the first cyclical turn. We didn't make a second one. We just tested the lows here and we started to rally the other way. So another bullish divergence signal kind of comes in here. This exhaustion selling is short covering rally and showing the strength of people kind of getting on board this move as this thing kind of cracks on. So we have a little bit of testing, amateur down bar there, up bar there, that little congestion pattern. We break through resistance into another uptrend, and there we go, pull back to end of trend. So this is kind of getting the move going here. Potentially this is a left shoulder happening with that kind of flush pattern there, but let's see. I think they're going to take it up during the first thing tomorrow morning to get another of those exhaustion patterns during the full liquidity of the day, and then let's just see what happens after that. So good trading for me. There was more in it. Yeah, I know I'm just a little bit of a scaredy cat sometimes, and I just jump out of the market way too quickly, but anyway, that's just me. Hope you traded well today. Got short 275 again, short 275, checking stops and targets. And reason for re-entering, so support becomes resistance on 1500. We didn't see blue professional bars kind of pick it up at the lows, so still think we've got a ways to go, but what we were bouncing off was end of trend here on 500. This one here that's synced up with pullback level here, so we got that fairly big retrace. But anyways, so this is on the zero line, so we've got to see a flush. This is going to roll over on the 1500. So and I don't think that was just kind of testing in the lows, because we've not seen profit take the blue professional bars kind of picking it up at the lows. So come on, let's break to new lows, please. Go, just broke support on 500. Blue professional bar kind of taking us through. We've got this to wrap over on 1500. Kind of keep going down, breaking support here. No blue professional bars picking it up. This was kind of exhaustion selling, kind of getting the move going. So got to see at least something like a flush pattern. Okay, we're in 91s, excellent. All of a sudden, giving up. Everybody's given up hope. There we go. The pullbacks come in. So a little bit of a bounce off there. But this was, what was this? This was 8.5. So we've got to see blue professional bars and something like that. So target's 88.75, which I think is a good spot. What is this? 89.50, yeah. Let's just keep it there. Just see if we get that real extreme sell-off. Really, we've seen no blue professional bars on 1500 since the open here. Right up at this end of trend. Nothing yet. This is kind of flipped around. It's got to see an exhaustion pattern, so we're through support on 500. This has got to go another pullback to end of trend. So there we go, breaking down. Come on, keep going. It's almost through 90s. And a bit positive here, so in terms of the higher time frames, anything to catch us? Not necessarily. Okay, first blue professional bar here on 1500 coming in at the lows there. So now we've got to watch for some kind of exhaustion. 90 even. And the reason for getting out, blue professional bars coming on the 4500, and got an extreme reading here. Blue professional bars starting to come in at these lows. So happy with that. That was for 2 3/4, and then 2 before that, and a loss of 1 1/4 before that. So what is that, 3.5? That's fine after 3 trades. So pull back to end of trend. This is going to go off at some point. It's probably going to keep on sinking down to the original target, but anyway, 9:11 AM, quite happy with that. So done for the day. Well, the 88.75 target got hit, and blue fresh bar come in, exhaustion selling, pro signal exit down there, and an end of trend just gone off. So and we've got a bot signal going off right now. Unbelievable, right there. Can hear it in my ear. Rambo with exhaustion. So it's kind of place it might turn around. Still got to go pull back to end of trend on the 500 because we're below support down here. But that's interesting. Anyway, so there was well, at least another 2 points in it. So I shouldn't have jumped out. But anyway, I'm happy with what I got.